Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you are following us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Give us a 5-star rating. It massively helps us out. Enjoy.
So, speaking of Newcastle United
And Callum Wilson.
Could they get top 4?
I think they could.
Champions
That's
League?
why I think Liverpool won't, because I think there's too many other teams pushing for it. And I think most people would like to see it, wouldn't they?
I would.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
European football for Newcastle. Come on.
I'd like to see it
we?
personally.
You reckon?
But I think if they get Champions League football, it would fast track where I don't think they thought they would get Champions League football this year. But if they get Champions League football this year, if that makes sense,
It accelerates their
growth.
means of
They're gonna
gaining.
get
They're going to get the bigger names
yeah.
instantly.
Could get Mbappe.
Oh my god, I would love it. They actually could, I'm not even joking. Imagine,
But you'd still play Callum Wilson, right?
playing away the tune,
You're still
Playing
play Callum.
together.
playing both up top. Mate, Mbappe, you have to go Newcastle. If Newcastle get Champions League football, he has to go Newcastle.
What I really like about what Newcastle are doing is they have spent a bit of money, Isaac being the big one.
But not
obviously.
crazy.
But there's a lot of players in that team that are still like Premier League old boys. Do you know what I mean? Like no one was coming in for Dan Burn. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Well, I was.
I know you were tipping it. But like Man United and City weren't coming in for Dan Burn. Do you know what I mean? Even Isaac, really. Isaac's been talked about for a while, but no one's coming from the big bid. They got in Bruno because no one else was gambling on him. Like they've made astute buys. They've not spent crazy money. They haven't changed the whole 11. Like they've got just really solid buys, but a lot of the players on the pitch are still old Newcastle boys.
Well,
Yeah.
Eddie Howe, I think that's Eddie Howe though, isn't it? Like he's managing to, like, look at Almiron, for example. You know, Jack Grealish,
Brought him in
obviously.
the FPL team 2 weeks ago. He's flying.
Jack
Miguel.
Grealish had a stinker there, we admit, and I think he'll be first to admit it. He said, I shouldn't have said that. But
Where's he from?
Scotland.
no, that was Harry Potter. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Hagrid, right?
Yeah. And he looks unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's so fast. He's so talented. He's scoring goals. He's getting the numbers. How is that Eddie Howe? Or is that
It has to be, because he's done it with Joelinton as well. There's certain players in that squad that under he who should not be named Brucey just were awful, weren't they? And now have a
Getting more
career
out of them.
revival.
I think Almiron's always played, so he's always obviously been popular with the managers that he's been there for,
Yeah.
and obviously he's got better players around him now, so he's going to be getting himself in better positions and getting on more opportunities. But my reason I went and stuck him in my fantasy team was I just looked at he seems to play every single week.
They don't have a right winger.
Yeah, it's like even if St. Maximin's fit,
Absolutely.
Murphy's been playing, isn't he? He'd just come out, and then maybe when Isaac's back, he might have a decision to make. He might play Isaac off Wilson and St. Maximin, but
I
with
still
so
don't
many injuries, I think Almiron plays.
Yeah.
And at least for this, and he's so cheap, and I was just like, he's going to be getting involved in more goal contributions. It's worked out, but yeah, what season he's having. Now, Hal's doing a great job, let's be honest.
He's just a really good man manager as well.
Yeah.
But is one of the reasons they have. I'm not saying this would be the reason, but there's always been a question mark on whether he can handle the big egos, Eddie Howe. And it's not that he's failed at that before. It's just he's never really had them. Never had them at Bournemouth. Never had big names.
I think the fact that he has now got like Bruno Gomes, all these players now, he's starting to learn to handle those bigger players. And at the end of the day, at the top level, he has to learn how to handle them. If you want to be Newcastle playing Champions League football, getting the biggest names, he has to adapt as well.
I think as well, if you go to Newcastle, you quickly understand that the culture of the club means that like no player's ever bigger than Newcastle. And like if you have an ego at that club, it doesn't really pay off that well. You have
Dan
to
Burn's pretty big.
quite literally, yeah.
He's only got 9 fingers.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, you do know that.
I did hear about that.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Before I knew that, I didn't know that. But I wanted to quickly touch on Spurs
Oh, okay, yeah, cool.
because they're like, what are they, third still? But
I don't think they've changed position.
they're
right?
still third.
21
And on paper,
points.
they're doing all right. But because of the way they play football, everyone goes, they're actually crap.
Yeah.
Well, when you play like that, you have to win.
Yeah.
It's the Jose Mourinho
But they're third.
way.
But they're third. So they have been winning. But you look at them and just think, they're not all that. They're not on Arsenal and City's level. But they're third.
No, but they would never be on City's level. They haven't got the personnel. I think you guys are playing a much more exciting brand of football, which wins you fans, even outside of Arsenal. It makes people want to watch you, which is the Arsenal way, right? That's what I've always associated with Arsenal. I think the thing that I'm not massive, obviously I'm a West Ham fan, so Spurs aren't my favourite side. But generally, as a neutral football fan, like, it just makes me feel sad seeing people like Kane and Son play in that version of football.
Yeah.
But obviously, they play it very well and they counter-attack amazingly, and they still get plenty of goals and assists and whatnot. But I'd love to see him in a better side.
Yeah.
Not to say that couldn't be a Spurs side, but they need. It's just Conte ball is not enjoyable for me. But when you're Spurs, you've got to find a way to win, and I do get it.
But you just think, you look at the names they have, you just think you've got such talented names.
Yeah.
Even Kulusevski, is injured and whatnot. But why would they not just play a more attacking brand of football?
Have they got that? I'm not sure they've got that much attacking quality defensively. And I don't necessarily...
Oh, the fullbacks as well.
Yeah, sorry, not attacking quality. I don't think they've got much defensive quality is what I mean to say. Like, so you have to... There is an element to suggest you might have to go back five, and you have to go... It's kind of the same thing I think Gareth's doing at England, to be honest, and Tuchel's doing at Chelsea is, look, we don't necessarily have a standout centre-half, so we need to get support around them. But it just dictates certain tactical choices, though, doesn't it?
Well, Conte said it's a 2-year project at Spurs. But he's not signed a new contract.
No,
But he changes his mind every other week depending on the performance, though, which is a little...
And also, Harry Kane expires in 18 months.
What, as a person?
It goes off, it's sell by date, 18 months, his contract. Surely he's got to really question his opportunities now. If you're Harry Kane, you either... I feel like he's committed to Spurs for the rest of his life. I think he's better. I think he's so much better.
If he was a couple
of
years younger, I mean, for me, Kane, he got done dirty by Daniel Levy. Levy's a great chairman for your club. He does very astute business, very tough negotiator, and he played Kane like a fiddle. Depending on how he feels about that now, because he's obviously got his own career to think about, which is, I'm a certain age, I've got maybe 3-4 years left at that level max, probably, and. There is a big move on the horizon for him still. There is a club that would come in for him. I think United could come in for him. I think Bayern Munich could come in for him. Yeah. If he wants to do it back to Levy, you just don't sign that contract. You just don't sign it. And then it goes to nothing.
I think that genuinely might be his only way out. So I don't think Levy will ever sell him.
Here's a question about Kane. Do you think that as a player, he values that golden boot, Premier League goal scoring record, more than like a Champions League trophy?
I would personally. It's such a rare opportunity. That's such a hard number to catch. Like, even Haaland, he has to keep doing what he's doing for many years to get there.
Yeah. How close is Kane now?
He's in the 200, isn't he? He's like maybe 50 or 60 away, I think.
It's a couple of seasons at this. Well, actually, to be fair, he's on 9 goals this year, 10 goals.
Yeah, you know what's really harsh on Kane is that he's having like one of his best ever seasons. There's only been 2 games he's not got a goal contribution.
Yeah.
He's only 71 goals off the record.
Okay, he's not 200 yet.
190. What?
Yeah, 71 goals. That seems really close. Actually,
it's very achievable.
Yeah,
that's 3 good seasons for Kane. 3 good seasons. It's not inevitable they'll do it in 3, but he should be thinking, I want that. The only doubt he could have, he has to. If he's going for that, he has to feel confident that Spurs are going to stay good.
Yeah.
Because if they drop off, if Conte leaves and they drop off, he's not going to get the goals.
Yeah.
So the dream for him would probably be going to a Premier League team.
Still
getting the
United.
record.
Newcastle.
That's what I was thinking.
Newcastle
Do it. Amazing shout. Do it at Shearer's Club.
Do it at Shearer's Club.
Oh, no. I don't know how I'd feel about that.
I reckon Alan will back it. If he's going to let anyone do it, it has to be a turn, right? Yeah. Because at least... the club's going to be successful if Harry Kane then succeeds that record, right? So
that's if he can get Wilson out the team.
Then you got Callum Wilson and Harry Kane up top.